Hello, week 6 here, and this week we took a deep dive into medical technology and we reviewed, researched, and discussed the many aspects to medical technology. I think it's safe to say that we have many different aspects driving the technology within a healthcare system. Biomedical, laboratory services, um, radiology services, operations, dietary, nutritional services, CPOE, um, nanotechnology, um, artificial intelligence, clinical decision tools, um, all these encompassing aspects really are the the driving forces in healthcare today. Um, the efficiencies involved with the technology, the accuracy in the clinical decision making tools, 90% plus. Um, you know, the medical technology, healthcare information, um, really believe it encompasses the clinical information systems, the administrative information systems, the decision support systems within that EMR system, is something that is heavily looked at. And I feel that the informatics in healthcare refers to the application of information technology and the data science to improve the management and the analysis and the utilization of health-related information. So we take this health-related information, we collect it, we store it, retrieve it, exchange it, and we provide AI-powered clinical decision support. Meaning that we will take this rule, implement it for the clinical decision support system to analyze the patient data, to analyze the patient's record, lab results, symptoms, documented information, and will provide this output for the providers to make evidence-based decisions, to make diagnosis and treatment plans based off of algorithms that are constantly reviewing the patient's record. These type of clinical decision support systems allow for reduced diagnostic errors and improved patient outcomes. It provides efficiencies. It provides real-time notifications. So many positive things to look at there. I think on the downside, some could say that the physicians and clinicians may not be thinking for themselves, but in fact, this is providing real-time information and allowing the clinicians to see this information and to make decisions informedly. So the clinical decision support system, which is CDSS for short, are used in healthcare systems around the world. And in the U.S., adoption could vary between systems and through the globally, just depending on a few factors. Some factors that relate to healthcare system structure, health IT infrastructure, regulatory environment, reimbursement and financial incentives, and cultural and organizational factors. So there are many driving forces that would drive decisions by a healthcare system to adopt and implement clinical decision support systems within their EMRs. Um, However, the healthcare organization's structure could be a more decision based on the healthcare organizations or the integrated health systems that are largely private. However, there is a mix of public and private providers within these networks. So long as the stakeholders are entrusted with these type of tools, there seems to be more adoption with the clinical decision tools that we're speaking of. The driving forces behind these tools are a system having an electronic health record and having interoperability and data sharing, health information exchange, and being a system with advanced health IT infrastructure allows this type of tools to be utilized. Unfortunately, underdeveloped countries don't have the same capabilities. If they don't have the electronic health systems, the interoperability and data sharing capabilities. However, the availability and the maturity of their health information technology could be one of the driving factors to really engage with a tool like the decision support system, the clinical decision support system. Regulatory environment in the United States, we are reviewed by the FDA, and clinical decision support systems are considered medical devices, and the software that's involved is considered that. So that is our regulatory environment. Other countries write up their own guidelines and have their own regulatory bodies for the CDSS implementation and use. I'm pretty sure most organizations here in the United States have some type of governing bodies within, in written policies to help mitigate some of these clinical decision support tools. Cultural and organizational factors could also be a factor in adoption of the CDSS. The embracing of the technology, the level of trust with the CDSS's recommendations, all are kind of driven by the cultural practices in the healthcare institutions that can be impacted by the CDSS. So overall, with the CDSS is being utilized in healthcare systems globally. The specific implementation and use of CDSS may vary between countries based on factors such as the healthcare system infrastructure, health IT infrastructure, regulatory environment, reimbursement policies, and cultural and organizational factors. At the end of the day, there is a lot of room for advancement, and depending on what that healthcare system's focus is, we'll be able to drive different clinical decision-making tools and advisements for providers to take action on. Thank you.